Hashtag Oprah 2020 is trending. You may have seen it all over social media. And this followed her interview with David Rubenstein on Bloomberg Television. Watch.
Right, because it's clear that you don't need government experience to be elected president of the United
States. That's what I thought.
Right?
I thought, oh, gee, I don't have the experience. I don't know enough. I don't know. And now I'm thinking, oh.
All right. Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Everybody gets a president. Oprah for the Winfrey.
Cue Tom Cruise couch jumping. Put it here.
Good job.
Put it here.
Boom.
I love that scene of Tom Cruise couch jumping. So now,
are you guys Oprah fans?
I love Oprah, but then I love Oprah as a viewer, and then I've heard stories of people that have worked with Oprah. But again,
what are you going to believe? You got to work with her to come up with your own observations.
I've just heard that she's, really tough to deal with, and one of my friends in particular, I trust very much so, and had some story. I mean, she runs a network. She ran a show, so I can imagine that maybe she's just very domineering because she needs to get shit done. That's what I think, but I love her as a viewer.
So would she have your vote?
I'm conflicted on, I think that she'd be fantastic, but at the same time, I do want people that have lawmaking skills and governing skills. I think that's a benefit when you're going to be the leader of the free world.
Yeah, there was talk about in 2008, Oprah running for president, be like, Oprah should run. Oprah could win as president. And I was like, no. But now I'm like, yeah, anybody could, I guess. I'm too tired from all this bullshit that's happening in the news. So it's like, yeah, go for it.
It is exhausting. Every morning, these alerts that I'm getting on my phone are scary. They're scary.
Yeah. So, yeah, we learned that someone who has savvy with television and communication can get a leg up if the rest of the field is not as good with it. And so Oprah is a media maven, so why the hell not?
What do you think, Grace?
So if there's one trend that we can predict within the American presidency, it's that it is a pendulum. And right now where we're seeing the pendulum swing is towards outsiders. That's where it's really, that's what we look for. The populace wants an outsider because we're frustrated with gridlock politics and we're frustrated with nothing getting done. In the past, it was very trendy for war heroes. Dwight Eisenhower was a celebrated presidential candidate because he had this war experience. So we see that it'll go back and forth. You want community organizers with Barack Obama, and then you want someone who has experience as a governor with Bill Clinton and George W. And now with Donald Trump, the trend is they want an outsider, and that's why
you're just
Hillary
describing what the presidents were like. There's no.
But that's when we talk about Oprah,
you have to describe. You have to give the dynamic that forced people to start thinking that way.
But that's what I'm saying, is that I think because people are so frustrated with the political climate, that's why Donald Trump got elected. They're like, do you want someone who is of the establishment like Hillary Clinton? Or do you want someone like Donald Trump? So when we hear conversations about an Oprah or someone or Kanye West 2020, I think these outrageous conversations have come as a result of people being so frustrated with status quo politics. I don't agree with that. I would like someone that has experience, but I understand why the pendulum is swinging this way.
Sounds good, but it's just not true. It's just not. You could say that the person who's won every time is the person who's better on TV. You had Al Gore and George Bush, and Al Gore shitted himself when he tried to walk up to George Bush in a debate. And George Bush was just more like, hey, I'm talking to you. That goes all the way down to Kennedy versus Nixon in the first debate. You have the person who could just look through the camera and talk to people like they're humans.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm saying that started with Dwight Eisenhower and Adlai Stevenson, when Adlai Stevenson didn't want to go on television and he was not a fan of that. And then Dwight Eisenhower, the thing about Adlai Stevenson is he's a loser. He's the loser. But I'm saying that part of what made Dwight Eisenhower, it's so funny that we started talking about this when it's Oprah running for president, but part of what made him such an attractive candidate was his military experience. And that was very important to constituents at the time, was having a president that had that sort of experience. Now, no one cared that Donald Trump didn't serve in the military. That wasn't something that came up, and no one cared with Barack Obama that he didn't serve in the military. I think the pendulum always switches back and forth, and what we see is that people like the idea of an outsider who's shaking things up. He's not from, he doesn't respond to Wall Street, and he doesn't respond to any of the military military or he doesn't respond to politics. He's never served, and that's why people are like, Oprah could be fun too, because we started with Donald Trump. Let's see how far this could go.
Doesn't bear out, though.
Well, it's the Republicans have used in just politics in general, like it was mentioned in the article, right? So we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? We have Ronald Reagan. So we have people that came from an entertainment background, that had the likability, that had the relatability, that had the name recognition. So they've been more keen to use that as opposed to the Democratic Party, if you just look at it historically speaking. But I agree too, I understand where both of you are coming from, and I agree that now people are craving more than ever, at least during the election cycle, people were craving more than ever anti-establishment. And then so maybe a lot of people globbed on independents, or maybe even Democrats globbed on to Donald Trump because of that. So I understand what you're saying, and I think it's been proven to win with other candidates in politics when you take someone from the entertainment industry. It has worked before, but is that the right thing to do, just to do it to win? That's the question, in my opinion.
I just don't know what Oprah would want out of the presidency.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. But she obviously does it.
People love it on social.
With the whole thing, the disagreement with Grace is like, yeah, you need someone who's like kind of a megalomaniac, who wants to be in charge of the world to do that. And that presents itself different ways. And it's really simple. Like your answer, it's like a simple thing that you can just say and then find ways that it seems to be true. Mm-hmm. But what I said is another thing that like also seems to be true. And the truth of politics is you have to put together enough people to vote for you through different ways. Now, you can write a paper where you pull enough little facts out and create a through line, but like all of this is happening all the time. I would say that it's supremely important, ever since FDR sat by a radio, to just have someone who can look through the screen and talk to people. And that's it. And the backlash trying to get an outsider, it's not necessarily the outsider nature of it, because you have like specific voters in the Rust Belt who are like, her husband did NAFTA, fuck them. Mm-hmm. Her husband gave my job away.
So I think for me, what the story is about is
final thought.
It's just a pattern. And when we see stories like Oprah coming forward, the pattern to me is we're really interested in outsiders as presidents, because we've sort of like fucked up the system with Donald Trump. It's like, why stop now? Let's talk to Oprah about it. And then you see, like Michelle Obama shut down that conversation because she knows you have to be a megalomaniac to an extent, be president. And she was like, I would never put my kids through that. But then we're like, well, what about Oprah? You don't have kids, So I think that to me, what the story's about is seeing where the pop culture consciousness is with regards to the American presidency, and who we're asking to fill this office is so strange.
It's
and I do think is a pattern influenced by who we just elected.
My response would be like, Oprah was floated in 2008. Just as like, Oprah could be president because she's super popular. And this gives us the opportunity to go back and say that again. Like, this isn't a new story. This is an old story coming back because of what's happening. We have Donald Trump as president, so people are like, actually, it could be true.
Yeah.
Like that weird thing we were talking about in 2008 of like, oh, we just need a TV star to be president.
Is a reality.
4 out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and we will see you next time on Popular.